It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
Like for you, Steve, they have the GM General Motors test track.
Okay.
Where you build a car.
I'm a Ford man, but thank you. Fastest on race day, that's what I say.
You build yourself a car.
Get that Chevy crap out of here, right?
You're right. It's more like Chef No.
As opposed to Chevier.
You got it.
And Steve.
I mean, good thing we have all those interns.
The whole staff is on call this week specifically for the Pole Badness tournament.
I think that's Gloria's job this year.
Oh, great. We really need to make some changes. Not, misogynistic or anything. Just, Gloria's,
A woman.
And we all know how that goes.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
She always hits the post, that Melissa Vaughn.
She knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
A seasoned professional.
Been doing it a year or two.
Maybe we should use that as the kickoff to, our shock jock era.
The piano?
No,
or Melissa?
The fact that we were going to let Gloria go or put Gloria off Pole Badness duty.
Right. Yeah, because she's a chick and it's sports.
Right. And she wouldn't even know what she's reading.
No idea.
I'm going to pick based on the mascot.
Who's the cutest?
Which is so funny because
I know a boy who went to that school.
It's so funny because those brackets always do better because sports are sports and sports are dumb, inherently dumb.
Look at New Jersey's own Fairleigh Dickinson University, FDU.
Was that a...
Go Knights?
The Knights.
Yeah.
Was at a bar last night watching that, and people behind somehow still... That I is right there. It's F-A-I-R. Mm-hmm. And a whole table cheering on, Go Farley!
Fair.
It's pretty clear as well.
Fairleigh Dickinson University.
Yeah, it was...
Teaneck, New Jersey.
It's simply funny to me that people act... And it's so prevalent. It's so funny. I mean, I am someone who consumes sports. Mm-hmm. Sports and sports analysis. And again, I've talked about, the only radio show and podcast I listen to, the only one that's ever impacted me or had a factor in my life is the Dan Lebitard show. Sure. With Stu Gatz. And... listening to that every day and then following sports accounts on social media and whatnot, anytime you see somebody and Steve, I don't know if the name rings a bell to you, Mina Kimes. I don't know if you've seen her.
Yeah.
She is one of the smartest people on the planet. I believe Ivy League educated, and she left school and wanted to talk football. Mm-hmm. And she is one of the brightest minds on the planet, but that does not matter because Joe, the bald-headed buffoon with a social media account, cannot fathom that this small woman who did not play Pee-wee Cub Rocket football like he did.
Right, yeah. Obviously an expert then.
Yeah. Could possibly know more than him.
Yeah.
Because he's been watching the Eagles since, the 70s, and you don't know anything.
Yep. Yeah.
So anyway, we had to hire Gloria back because she filed a lawsuit.
Right. And that is the last we will ever talk about that legally.
We are under advisement from our attorneys.
Yeah. We got what you call a cease and desist.
Have you ever personally seen
a cease and desist?
No.
I've heard.
You've heard of them happening, but you've never
I know that they happen, and it's happened a couple times on the radio show where I never actually see the legal paperwork of it, though, and it doesn't matter because I wouldn't understand it. It's all that legalese. But yeah, I know that there are certain things where it's just hey, do not talk about this or reference this even in a veiled way ever again. Alrighty,
noted.
Sounds good. I don't
taken out of the rotation.
Yeah,
moved on.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the business end. I don't ever want my name on one of those documents.
Right.
At all. I don't think, as far as I know, I haven't been. Hope to keep it that way.
And you can go ahead and take that as our official apology to one-armed drummer Rick Allen. who...
he got in a little hot water this week.
Did he? Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about
sent you that link.
You did? I didn't even put that together. I wonder if that's why he was in my brain. Because if as a podcast, we were to try to guess who would send us a cease and desist first, which aggrieved party would that be? And I have a top 2 I could think of. Can you guess what I think the number 1 would be of the party that would send us a cease and desist? And for anybody who doesn't know, I mean, everybody I think has probably heard that terminology. It's essentially saying, hey, what you're doing, talking about my client or my product or whatever, you need to stop immediately unless you're going to face legal charges for...
Yeah.
Not legal charges, but you could be sued.
Sure.
So,
Hope Solo?
Boy, she wasn't on my top 2, but she'd be in my top 3. For this podcast as a whole.
This podcast as a whole. What are we passionate about? Suspension and covered bridges. I don't think
it comes up once a year. This specific...
Once a year?
This specific thing I'm thinking of who would sue us or threaten legal action against us, Steve. I think the most aggrieved party in this podcast history.
Oh, of course I know this. It must be the family of the cook of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
The family of the cook.
The +1.
Yes,
not
exactly.
to be grouped in with the other 28.
No. You don't get the headstone in the group or wherever they have the memorial.
No.
You get put off to the side.
Yeah, you get the unmarked headstone.
Yeah.
Marked John Doe.
Those boys went under hungry.
Yeah.
Thirsty and tired.
Yeah. But old Cookie, which I'm assuming is his nickname because
Cookie
every cook, their nickname is Cookie. Maybe put that on the polls.
Yeah, was the cook's nickname Cookie?
Yeah, Cookie went down with a belly full of waffles, some sausage links, maple syrup, maybe a little fruit salad.
The way he's referencing that song twice is kind of...
Oh, it's a kick in
popping
the
his
balls.
head out like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's real choppy. No dinner either. Yeah, exactly. He's got like 3 spaghetti noodles hanging out of his mouth. And then somehow a piece of ciabatta bread in his hair. Right?
Yeah. I mean, naturally.
While the 28 actual sailors have 5 galloners and they're shoveling water off the deck.
They're putting in work. Putting in serious work.
Unbelievable. That would be my number 1.
Okay.
My number 2 guess would be, and somehow he's getting brought up, Rick Allen.
Rick Allen.
Who we accuse...
Is that Def Leppard? The drummer
I believe
of
he
Def
was...
Leppard?
Yes.
The one-armed drummer of Def Leppard.
Who, when we recapped this a couple of years ago, we came to realize that in the car accident where he lost his arm...
Yeah, he was separated from his arm.
He was... If memory serves me correct, crawling after it, yelling, "Don't you know who I am?
I'm Rick Allen, famous drummer."
Yeah, while his girlfriend or whatever at the time was dying slowly in the grass next to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He is not in hot water. When I typed in his name, it looks like he got attacked. But you don't think he was a podcast listener, do you? Finally getting vengeance?
No, Kyle, I do not believe it was a podcast listener because no one listening to this podcast would do such a thing, and I find it offensive you would even bring that up.
Do we need to go back and wipe that episode before this becomes...
Episode?
Yeah, oh boy.
It's not going to look good in court when they pull up the complete list, the complete anthology of the Steve and Kyle podcast, and 25 episodes are missing.
If we get one laugh from a juror, though, does that kind of make it all worth it?
I think maybe we'd get a listener on the jury.
Like, this might be our biggest exposure ever. If this 19-year-old named Max Hartley, who was accused of assaulting Rick Allen on Monday while he was standing outside of a hotel smoking a cigarette.
What did Rick do?
We know.
I mean, in the moment, did Rick do anything?
Listen, open wounds like that fester. So maybe this 19-year-old is some relative of the woman who passed away in that car accident, while again Rick was chasing after his arm, yelling to anybody in that open field, "Don't you know who I am?" And by the way, we say that kind of in jest, but he definitely...
He did.
It is reported that he said to the person, "Do you know who I am?"
This is a historical fact.
Yeah.
We're not making this up.
So Max Hartley, maybe he's a listener or maybe he's a relative.
Where was this? Where did it take place again?
This was outside the Four Seasons in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Steve.
Okay. All right.
When a woman tried to interfere, Hartley allegedly began hitting her and then dragged her by the hair.
Oh, wow.
He's not a podcast listener now. I mean, the first part, I wish I hadn't read below the picture.
Yeah.
I wish I had stopped it. So can we wipe that previous
Yep.
knowledge from our brains and from the audio?
Yep. Back it up.
So, Max, that is not nice. Mm-mm. And we only have the kindest of things to say about one-armed drummer, Rick Allen.
He's my favorite one-armed Def Leppard drummers.
Yeah, if I had to list my top 3 one-armed drummers from 1980s hair bands, he's going to be in the top 3, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Boy, now I'm kind of worried about everything we say. Do we need to get rid of the music for show correspondent to the Jewish people, Brian Krause? Do we get rid of that music? What would cancel us? What in our history? Steve, no!
Jew. I mean, he referred to himself as our number 1 Jewish correspondent.
I can't believe you accidentally played that. After we just talked about it. What is, in your estimation, over the years, what is the item that would get us in trouble? Like if somebody, would it be the family of the cook? Would they be super offended if they heard what we talked about?
I can't imagine they'd enjoy it.
Would it be Hope Solo's family? Which I don't even know if she has anymore because she won't stop wailing on them in wild rage.
Yeah, I mean, you did refer to her as a serial butthole picture taker.
But listen, I feel I've been vindicated by the evidence of that, as there are.
I'm willing to agree with you on that.
There are multiple instances of that taking place. And I'm not shaming anybody for that.
Yeah.
If that's what you're into, you want to set that camera up on a little tripod and go...
There's my butthole.
Full moon. Go ahead. But you cannot dispute the facts that this is something that is true.
Tough to dispute. Yeah.
I'll put it on the poll, and I'll put those top 3.
Okay.
I'll put the family of the cook. Who would have the most right to sue us?
Who was most likely to sue us?
Yeah, and it'll be Rick Allen, the family of the cook.
Yeah.
And Hope Solo.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those are all... that would probably be our top 3, I think.
Yeah, I can't think of a 4th.
Yeah. No, that's like 85% of our content over the last 300.
If we get sued by one of them,
59 episodes.
We're out.
Yeah, I mean, and the other 15% of our content has been like garage doors.
Somehow, yeah. I mean, again, we are leaders in the garage door category, which, again, I've been championing on all of the podcast tracking services and award services to include the garage door category, so we could really finally hit our stride.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Steve,
boy, it's a strange day here at the Steve and Kyle podcast. We both are in the midst of, well, probably more me than you, but like single bachelor weekends, kind of.
Yeah.
Your wife is traveling to see family.
Yep.
She's in Virginia.
Virginia,
right?
yeah.
So just you and Rito at home.
Yeah, she left on Thursday, so it was me and Reed on Thursday evening, and then Friday I took him to where I take him for daycare every week, which is my mother-in-law's on Friday.
Yeah.
And she was kind enough to offer me to watch him overnight.
That's awesome.
And I said, okay. I said, sure.
So he probably is pumped about that. If he's anything like my kids, loves going to grandmom and grandpa's house.
Yeah, and it's always, I ask him, hey, do you want to have a sleepover? Mm-hmm. And his eyes get really wide. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's jazzed, right? Yeah. And I'm sure
and it's every kid.
Yeah, and it's popcorn. It's probably skip nap.
Yep.
Treats,
watching Disney movies all day.
Yeah, probably turning on like Predator.
Yeah, good.
Like really getting into it at a young age.
Maybe Die Hard.
Which, by the way, I found out our son's favorite channel is on one of those free TV providers, like Tubi or whatever.
Yeah.
They have a full Cops channel.
Full Cops channel?
24/7.
Didn't
Cops.
I thought Cops got canceled.
Oh, but Steve, they had millions of hours of content.
Okay.
So this is a full channel, 24 hours a day, that he is obsessed with.
Okay.
Before I was even out of bed 2 days ago on Thursday, I heard the sirens from the show, and I came out of the bedroom. And he was sitting in the chair. And again, this is like 7 in the morning, 7:05, and he says, "Daddy,
what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you, bad boys, bad boys? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?" Did he say, "Daddy, I want a gun"?
He now knows what drugs are.
Okay.
Because as it turns out, and I don't remember, I was never a big Cops guy. Every case is drugs.
Yeah.
There's always some type of powder or crystal methamphetamine, anything. It does not matter. They're always drugs.
Yep.
But I came out of bed, Daddy, they already caught 2 bad guys.
Oh, look at that.
And you can tell based on like the era, right? Like the way the cars look, and there's signs in the background of this gas station that say, 2 12-packs for $5, which hasn't been that price
right.
in 20 years,
Yeah.
But anyway,
everyone's got mullets.
Yeah, exactly.
Mustaches.
And that when they have a shirt on, it's definitely like a ripped tank top.
Yeah.
So yeah, I took him over to my mother-in-law's yesterday, and 100% did not know what to do.
Huh.
It is the weirdest feeling ever.
Yeah. It is strange.
Just super quiet house, and I'm not doing any projects. Get out of town. I did some laundry, and then I'm sitting there, and it's just after 5, and I'm thinking, what do I do with myself?
Yeah.
It's so strange that everything you do becomes so, and it's a bad thing. I like it. Becomes fashioned around your family plans, what needs to be done for your family at that point, whether it's dinner, bath, shower, bed, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That when that's not there, I feel like, have you ever seen that meme of the actor from like Narcos, where he's playing Pablo Escobar, and there's just multiple images of him standing with his hands in his pockets, staring off into the distance?
Yeah.
That's what I felt like.
Yeah. No, very, very relatable.
Yeah. I ended up going out for a couple beers. Watched a little bit of the basketball game.
You go out by yourself? Or?
No, I was able to connive someone.
Okay.
A friend of mine who would come along.
Appreciated the call, but
I would have never guessed in a million years you happen to have bachelor weekend the same time.
It's crazy.
We could have painted the town like we used to.
Yeah, we could have painted the basement.
Oh. Because
that's what I did.
Where I try to find something, maybe not off the beaten path, whatever, but something that I normally wouldn't do.
Right.
Which is go sit at a bar, not like sit at a table at a restaurant bar. Sit at the bar and watch basketball and drink beer. You decide to really dig into your expertise, your forte.
Yeah.
DIY.
Yeah, I had to because that was the agreement that was made.
Boy, can you imagine if she had come home now? Whenever she comes home,
and none of it was done.
Yeah, you're just sitting on the couch with like a bowl of chips, watching the Michigan State Steves.
I didn't feel like doing anything.
Yeah, I thought about the paint and everything. I don't know, paint. What is it?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What is it, you idiot? It's paint. Do it. Yeah, my wife, I was shocked because we had maybe like a month and a half, 2 months ago, we had said, let's just kind of give a little spruce up to the playroom in the basement because it was, for reasons unknown, 3 of the walls were blue. One of them was like green screen green. The ceiling was black. Everything was just falling apart and looking like crap. So I replaced the windows in there maybe a month or 2 ago. Put in new drop ceiling tiles, so it kind of brightened it up a little bit. And then the plan was to paint the walls and everything. But then we had our trip last week, so it was kind of hectic for a little while. And I didn't want to do anything with all of the crap in the room. I was not interested in doing that. thing where like, oh, you move this piece of furniture, you paint around it, then you move it back, and then because it just ends up taking hours. So I said to Annette, I was like, hey, if you're up for it, maybe what you could do is go up to your parents' house with the kids for, a night or 2 nights. I'll clear everything out, paint everything, clean everything up, move it all back in, because that space is also her workspace. So it can't be down for like 4 or 5 days at a time. And she was like, all right. So we got back from our Florida trip last week, and I was shocked. She's like, hey, maybe I'll go up to my parents this weekend. I was like, you want to jump right back into traveling? Granted, it's only an hour and a half, but it's still like all that packing, and because kids need everything.
It's enough of and I shouldn't say headache, but it's enough of planning and to do.
Yeah.
That it's one of those where thinking about it is, for me, stressful.
Yeah. And I said to her, I was like, if you're up for it and you want to do that, yeah, no problem. I'll clear everything out. So I did that. Cleared all the stuff out of there on Thursday night, a little bit more yesterday when I got home from work. And they walked out the door at like 2:15, and by 2:20 I was down here in the basement sanding and getting ready to paint. And I put the first coat on, and it was probably 7 o'clock. I stopped, grabbed some dinner, and I was just going to relax the rest of the night. And then I thought, I could knock out that second coat tonight. And I did. I was painting until 11:30 or almost midnight by the time I got everything cleaned up. But I went to bed so satisfied knowing that 95% of the work was done.
Yeah.
There was like still one spot that I was waiting for some drywall mud to dry off. Came downstairs this morning, sanded it, put a coat of paint on it right before you got here. And after you leave, I'm going to roll that second coat on, and then I am completely done painting.
So you're just waiting to hit stop on this. Jazz to the moon that you can get back out there and grab that brush.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Look, we're 22 minutes in. In my opinion, at least 18 minutes too many. We could wrap this up.
We did peek at the intro.
We did. But, yeah, so originally I was thinking, all right, maybe I'll do the prep work on Friday night. Then I'll wake up Saturday. We'll record the podcast. I'll do the first coat of paint Saturday afternoon. Second coat Sunday morning. Well, now that's done. It's all done. So I have maybe an hour's worth of work to do after you leave. And then I have nothing to do for the rest of the day tonight and roughly
tomorrow.
Half of tomorrow until mid-afternoon tomorrow. I got nothing to do.
What's on the docket?
I don't know.
Did you want to go see a movie?
I do want to go see a movie.
Right? Like, for me, that's where my head always goes.
Okay. What's in theaters right now? Anything good?
Creed 3.
Creed, okay. Well, I didn't see Creed 2, I don't think.
Yeah, you could be missing out on something there.
Okay. Well, I don't really remember Creed 1 either.
Right. There is...
Couple fights.
I'll tell you this much. They boxed. There's the newest film in the Scream franchise. That would be Scream 6. Do you have any desire to see Scream 6?
No,
okay.
the Scream movies, the original one was fine. I think I saw Scream 2. But, yeah, Scream, meh.
There is. I just pulled up the box office for this weekend. Mm-hmm. Trying to find what has come out. So last weekend, the leaders again were Scream 6, Creed 3, a movie called 65.
Okay.
That is Adam Driver, who is like a astronaut and finds a planet. Stick with me. Filled with dinosaurs.
Dinosaur Planet movie.
You're darn right.
Okay. It's not something...
Let me see if I could tickle you right here with this.
All right.
Last weekend, the number 4 movie in the country. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Oh, yeah. That's, I got a couple more movies that I need to watch before I get to that point.
Okay. Cocaine Bear. Does that strike your fancy?
Yes. I do want to see Cocaine Bear.
Okay. That's still out there. Let me put the local listings. I would like to see Steve go into a movie today.
All right.
I'd like a report back next week on what movie you saw.
Okay.
I'll be happy to even lend you my popcorn bucket. You can get yourself a free big old bucket of popcorn.
Whoa.
Right? 65, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Avatar 2. Does that strike you?
Avatar 2, yeah, kind of. I mean, it's been
I never saw the first one.
It's been so long since I'm surprised you never saw the first one.
Yeah, no thanks.
Just didn't interest you?
Nope. Glad I missed it, and now I feel like it's a badge of honor that I'm one of the very few people on the planet who did not see
so you're
Avatar 1.
Listen carefully. You'll hear those heels being dug in for no apparent reason.
I mean, looks terrible. Could I interest you? Okay, then we have Creed 3, which again, I mean, you have time. If you wanted to get done with this and pop on HBO and watch Creed 2, you could then go to Creed 3 today.
I could. That's 2 movies in one day. Boy, I mean, historically, that's not going to happen.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was I
know nothing about that movie, but I know that it's a
gigantic success.
Yeah.
At the award shows. Mm-hmm. And then some that you can find streaming now already. So Megan, which is a horror movie, so I'm not going to offer to you. Missing, which was a fun romp.
I saw the trailer for Megan, and it freaked me out.
I liked it. I watched it twice. I liked it so much.
Okay.
Missing.
The movie's so nice you saw it twice, huh? That's what they say.
Definitely not Avatar. Oh, another. Hey, here's one for you.
Huh?
Superhero movie from the DC universe.
Oh, is that
Shazam 2?
Shazam. Not what I was going to...
What's it going to take to get you to a movie? What type of movie are you in the mood for?
I don't know.
You want a big box office adventure actioner that's going to keep your attention?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
A nice summer popcorn movie.
Well, then I won't offer you The Whale, which is starring
I
Brendan
do want to
Fraser.
see that.
That is in theaters.
It's still in... Oh, man. Now,
you can see that today.
Annette and I had talked about going to see this. Do you think?
It's not going to be around long enough that it'll matter.
Do you think?
When was the last time you and Annette went to a movie? Tell me.
It might have been when we went with you guys and saw...
A Star is Born?
A Star is Born?
6 years ago?
No.
That was 2017, I believe.
No. Has Operation Cooper Hair been that long?
Well, you had it at the Billboard in Van Wert, which was 2018. So we saw A Star is Born in October of 2017. Mm-hmm. You started growing it out that winter for our Billboard trip, which, again, the anniversary of that's coming up next month.
Happy anniversary.
So, yeah, I would be safe assuming you and Annette won't be making it out to the theater to catch the indie film The Whale anytime soon.
I do want to see that. I think she'd be upset if I went and saw it without her.
Or hear me out here.
Or maybe I just don't tell her.
She doesn't need to know.
No.
And then when you watch it, you act, shocked or whatever emotion you need to feel, and you'll then know. Like, you can be that guy who's trying to subtly say, because when you guys watch it, if you watch it here, distracted, hey, you need a drink of water, I'm gonna go to the restroom, whatever. Yeah. But you'll kind of notice, you'll be like, hey, no, why don't you just let's watch this part, then we can go make a snack,
right?
Because you'll know. I have one final offer for you.
What do you got?
You could just stop being a lazy piece of shit and watch the Eternals.
28 minutes in. Got a lot of painting to do.
No offense.
Yeah.
I know our friend, the town drunk Rusty, will appreciate that.
Okay. You know something?
I'm very perturbed at you.
You know something?
What do you got?
I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it?
I'm going to do it.
Is it the idea that,
I'm going to make some popcorn that I don't have to share?
Oh, how nice is that, right?
I'm going to... You know something? I'm going to make the... once I get all the furniture back in the playroom in here...
Do it down here?
I am. I'm going to turn the lights down, cuddle up in the corner. I got my heated blanket. Is there anything better than a heated blanket, by the way? No. Don't even bother answering.
Yeah, I sleep warm. I don't like... I'm already too hot.
Oh.
You're going to do this today.
I am.
Wow. All it took was to call you a mean name and then say no offense.
Yeah, I mean, granted, you had to do it multiple times over the last, 6 months.
Is this partially because, though, and I'm not saying this is judgmental against anybody because I would do the same thing, everything sounds better. Like when you have, this scenario, right? A weekend to yourself. I can do what I want, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go eat here and whatever. But then you get to thinking, you're like, well, I got to get dressed.
Yeah. I haven't showered in 3 days.
Snowing like a mother out there.
Mm-hmm.
Have to get out in the cold and drive into the teenage abyss, the mall, to go to the theater.
Ugh.
And then it's like, even early matinee shows, they're like $11 now.
Yeah.
So does that like factor in? Like, does the excitement?
Absolutely.
The excitement doesn't outweigh all of that stuff for you?
No, it for me, it's the motivation to take that first step, get up, put my shoes on, walk out the door. Once I'm in motion, I'm good. It's just getting there. And I think that it's likely that I would go to the movie theater because I have to go over there anyway to go to the big box store, pick up a couple of random things for the project I'm working on. Mm-hmm. And while I'm over there, I may as well stop in, see a movie. I'm gonna do one better. I might do 2 movies today. Okay. I might do it.
I don't know why we do this. Why can't we just take what we agreed and was like a good thing, right? And leave it at a good thing. Because now...
You want me to 2-up it? I could do 3 movies today.
I would have to pull up... I don't even know what the second movie is.
We gotta get the hell out of here, though, because I got things to do.
I'll be happy to see it. Could I interest you, though? Maybe before all of that, because you talked about putting, you got to put all the stuff back down here in the basement.
Yeah.
What about a 75-inch LED 4K smart Google TV?
Oh, boy.
Brought to you by our friends at Sony.
Oh, I do like a Sony.
Less than $1,000.
Ooh.
Less than $900. $899.99 today. And you're going to be... Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You're already going to the big box store, which is 30 feet away, Steve, from this big box store.
Here's the thing. We currently have a 65 upstairs in the living room.
Yeah. Which is cute.
We have the old 42-inch plasma down here, which... Despite what everybody's saying when I bought it in 2010, I have not had to refill the plasma one time.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I believe this is a...
It is, yeah. The Tron, it's a 42.
Yeah.
So the plan is to get a bigger TV for upstairs.
Yeah, and then put that...
And then move the 65 down here.
Right.
So if I'm going to get bigger upstairs, I currently have a 65. Why am I going to jump to just a 75? What's the next? Is it 85?
You thinking bigger? You're thinking...
I mean, look. I got the Comanche now. I can fit a big TV in the bed of it.
Boy, nothing screams brand new TV like having to cover a tarp on it from your open bed truck because of the snow.
Like nothing screams more redneck than putting a TV in the back of a truck that's worth more than the truck.
Right. And then hope that truck, no offense, can make it there and back.
Oh, none taken. None taken whatsoever.
You would then have to leave that television outside to get rid of the gasoline smell. Boy, they really do go up in price, Steve. Once you get past that 75 to 80 range.
Do they?
So if I'm going to look at an 85-inch television, which to me is
absurd.
That's bananas. What would you guess? Like, what would you... A price point for you on an 85-inch TV that wouldn't, 1, shock you, and 2, really put you to the point where, hey, I can't do it.
85. Well, I'm assuming that they jump like exponentially. I would say I'm out after $1,200. And I want like a good name brand. I don't want the
store brand,
like LJC or something. That,
totally get it.
Yeah.
5-star review. 59 reviews. 5 stars. Pickup ready in 1 hour at our local big box electronics store here for the low price of $1,099.
Are you serious? What brand are we talking?
Samsung.
I love Samsung. That's my go-to brand.
85 inches.
85. Okay.
4K LED.
Don't know
Smart
what that
TV.
means. Sounds good.
And if you don't like that, same price. Could get you a smart Roku TV from TCL.
No, don't want the
Okay,
TCL.
We're not from the TCL. Not
No.
from the TCL. Not even in consideration.
Not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, listen, these are not as bad as I thought. There's a lot of Samsungs for under that price point.
$1,200. I'm out, and
I'm saving you $100. So at that point, you can go buy one of those overly expensive HDMI cables that you don't need.
Oh yeah, monster cable.
The monster ones
Yeah.
that have 14 karat gold in them.
Right.
I'd like to see if you're going to do it right. That's all I'm saying. Now you're going to need a new. You're probably going to need a new mount.
Yeah.
Because 85, and I don't even know if they make mounts for that size. So you may just have to go buy like a couple 2x4s.
Just nail it to the
and
wall.
nail it to the wall. I think this is the weekend for change.
You think?
Paint, redone the basement. You're going to watch a movie again for the first time. And, you watched one, 3 months ago? And I think the only way to properly do it, Steve.
Yeah. Is on a brand new 85-inch.
Samsung
Lots of letters
4K.
and numbers.
This is, everybody knows, it's the 85-inch class TU690T series. It's the LED 4K UHD Smart Tizen TV. So it's got everything you need just with those words and letters. Oh, I so want to see this happen now.
85. Boy, that means I got to remount 2 TVs.
And then you could spend your evening watching The Eternals and the newest Spider-Man No Way Home. Very excited for next week.
We'll see.
Because I don't want you to tell me anything. Okay,
but then what am I going to do with the old 42 inch
cares?
Do they got a trade-in program
for a 13-year-old plasma?
Right. I mean, that's where I bought it. I bought it at that same store. Do you think I can just take it back and be like, yeah, it's not working. I need to upgrade.
Yeah, you can trade it into your local dump. And by trade, I mean you also give them $30 to take it. So while you're doing it, you might as well just bring up, an old mattress you got laying around or anything else and just, dump out again, undo the tailgate on the Comanche.
Yeah.
So you got your 42-inch plasma, an old mattress, and anything else that Toby's found from the forest back there.
Yeah, I think we've cleaned it out pretty good.
And you kind of open, you roll down the window because, again, you're in the Comanche, so you're cranking that puppy down.
Hell yeah.
And you're waving to the guy and you're saying, everybody watch out, I'm going to gun it.
Hit the gas and
everything flies out the back.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they tell you to back right up to the lip of the actual dump, right?
Yeah, the pit.
So you got a guy just like at an oil change or a car wash, like waving you back and then giving you the stop so you're right on the edge.
And then doing 3, 2, 1, light them up.
Yeah. And then you peel out. Hope all 4 stay attached to the Comanche.
I did my first burnout in that truck the other day.
On purpose?
Yeah. Dump the clutch.
I need all the details.
Oh, it was great.
Where was this?
It was great.
Was it here?
Yeah.
Like in the neighborhood?
No, it was a couple miles from here. I had driven over to my buddy's shop just to stop in and say hi. I hadn't talked to him in a while. Mm-hmm. And then, now granted, it was a little bit of a, it's not like a dirt road, but there was a little bit of, dirt and gravel and everything.
Yeah.
And I looked both ways. Nobody coming. I was just like, I've never done a burnout in this thing before. And just popped it in gear. It's in first gear, revved it a little bit, dumped the clutch, and fishtailed out. Oh, I loved it.
Did you feel... Let me ask you, as a man in his early 30s, fellow man in his early 30s.
Yeah.
How did your emotions change after that? Because
I was happy. So
it started off with you felt pretty good about that.
I felt good. Doing burnouts makes it increases the endorphins.
Okay, I'm putting that on the poll. But again, as a man in his early 30s with a wife and children and family, did it change at all? I mean, maybe you got on the road, maybe you got home and you were like, that was really dumb.
No.
No,
I kept it to myself because my wife would have shamed me for it.
Right, probably make you feel like a 17-year-old.
Yeah,
maybe asking you, are you putting a subwoofer in next?
There are some things that you keep to yourself. You bury them down deep, 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 deep down inside. And yes, I am considering putting a subwoofer in the Comanche next.
If there's one thing that's missing, and it's the only thing I could think about, it's an improved sound system.
I mean, it's got upgraded. I put upgraded speakers in it.
It's just not enough bass.
There is not enough bass. Look, you don't get a lot of bass from a 4x6 in the rear and a 3.5 in the front.
Embarrassing.
Everybody says that.
I'm happy for you. I would have guessed.
Do you want to, like, when we're done?
No.
Okay.
There's snow. It wouldn't work.
Oh, it would work very well.
Nah, I mean, you've got the paint stuff and the TV and the 3 movies.
Okay, so now I'm buying a TV and watching 3 movies.
Yeah, and I've got literally anything else to do.
Yeah. So you let's going back to our swinging bachelor weekend. Mm-hmm. Now after you leave here, you're picking up your son. So your bachelor weekend is kind of, I mean, granted, you're a couple single guys for the rest of the weekend.
That's right.
But you're not going back out and painting the town red again tonight, are you?
No.
I was going to ask you if you could ditch the kid for a couple hours, we could head out. We could do a last minute, maybe blast something out on social media. Say, hey, let's do a last minute Steve and Kyle podcast meetup.
Somehow this would end with me or you assisting the other in doing a home improvement project.
You think?
Yeah.
No. I look, we take all that out. We say, look, we're meeting here, local pizza place or something. Mm-hmm. You know the place I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
Meet there at 8:00 tonight.
Yeah, sure, I'll meet you there.
I don't believe you.
What do you mean?
What are your parents up to? They got time to watch Reed?
Yeah, I'm sure they would too. I'm sure they'd be happy to.
You think you want to do this?
Yeah.
The way that you say it, and there's that weird inflection, like, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'll be there.
I'll come in.
Like your voice just keeps getting higher.
What? No, I'm in, man.
I mean, every single time you speak, it's like an octave higher.
No, I'm going to be there. 8 o'clock.
I can't even understand what you're saying.
Do it. Pizza. Yogi.
Okay. Well, now you're just mocking me. You son of a bitch.
Steve, before we get out of here, we have to recap the very busy, the monumental week that was.
It's been...
In our 3rd annual, more like 5th or 6th, but in terms of the way we do it now, our 3rd annual Pole Badness Tournament. Sue us now.
If you want to be the best, you got to be a fighter. If you want to be the best, you got to show desire.
The week it was, Steve.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I forgot how much response we get to these.
These are fun. I love doing this. I love seeing...
Which means I forgot that I need to disable notifications on my phone.
I only get mine from Instagram. Don't know how to turn those off.
Oh, boy. That was the worst because there was somebody... I think it was Roxy. Roxy votes on all of them. And
Roxy or Brandy Bakes?
Boy, I appreciate the fact that Roxy votes on them, but I think what she does is she saves them all and then goes through, votes. So for about 10 minutes straight, my phone is...
It's awesome to see. I love
seeing
yesterday
the votes come I went in and
turn them off.
Disabled notifications for comments because I couldn't deal with it.
That's right. Steve making himself less accessible than ever before.
Just for comments. The nice thing about Instagram is you can kind of fine-tune it.
Yeah.
So you can disable just comments on your photos, but not if somebody messages us or whatever. So
A throaty 2, Steve, filled with upsets,
Oh, yes.
filled with close matchups, filled with runaways.
Give it to
leading
me.
to a
Let's go.
surprise senseless 16. We're going to start, Steve, in the patently absurd division. And if you're looking for this updated bracket, it is on our social media at Steve and Kyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The post should have gone up yesterday.
What is the 16 called?
The senseless 16.
Senseless, okay.
In the patently absurd division, we had the number 1 versus number 8. Does 4-H stand for horsery, houses, horticulture, and ham? Took on is Chainsaw Steve, the ultimate nemesis of Earthman. And we're right out of the gate
What?
with a Cinderella.
Oh.
For the first time ever in the
Yeah.
history of Poll Badness, we've had the upsets of all upsets. A number 8 seed is moving on to the senseless 16.
Boy. That's
Is Chainsaw Steve, the ultimate nemesis of Earthman, and that won with 64%
wow.
of the vote.
That's, there's your Fairleigh Dickinson right there.
Yes, the Farley Dickinson Knights.
Fairly.
Not even that close. 64% of the vote, Steve.
Well done.
They're going to be taking on the winner of the number 5 is Ron 3 and Doug Stooges, a better comedy troupe than the Three Stooges. And that took on Do You Want to Wake Up on a Saturday Morning Blowing Rust-Colored Boogers? Bit of an upset here. Another runaway. Do You Want to Wake Up on a Saturday Morning Blowing Rust-Colored Boogers is going to be taking on the Cinderella, number 8 seed in the Senseless 16.
Well done.
The other side of the patently absurd division, the number 3 seed, is there a barbershop quartet in Costa Rica? Steve Jobs, Stan Lee, Kenny Rogers, and James Brown. That took on is Steve's murder jeep tinted with the blood of the innocent, a number 6 seed. Another upset. Maybe the committee and the decision down on the Planning Pagoda misseeded all of these teams.
Yeah, maybe.
68% of the vote.
The seating committee is known to have a bunch of absolute idiots on it.
Non-stop buffoonery.
No offense.
To anybody.
To the committee.
Yeah,
To the
obviously.
committee.
We thank them for their service.
No.
Decision Den Warriors. 68% of the vote is Steve's murder jeep tinted with the blood of the innocent. The number 6 seed is moving on to the Senseless 16, taking on the winner of the 2 vs. 7 matchup. Does the whoopee cushion lead off fart hour, or does it belong in dick hour so no one sees it coming?
That might be my favorite one.
And that's a 2 seed, and this is a heavy hitter. And that took on what a lot of people were declaring a possible Cinderella story. The number 7 seed did Kiss the Cook, Get Me Too.
Me Too'd. That's such a good matchup.
So this is one
Can't
that
believe that's a 7 seed still.
two worthy candidates go in, and only one can come out, Steve. And the Cinderella story is not to be. 74%
Wow, not
of
even
the
close.
vote.
Wasn't even a close game.
The number 2 seed will be taken on. The number 6 seed is Steve's murder jeep tinted with the blood of the innocent. Again, all of these matchups will be posted throughout the day. Earlier, depending on when you're listening to this, they'll be up Tuesday on all of our social medias at Steve and Kyle. Moving over to the division, the number 1 seed is The Only Way to Fix Your Billy Rubens by Collecting Your Jimmy Patty Melts. That took on the number 8 seed is The Handlebar Jig worth 2 points.
No doubt.
Which I think was a really nice 8 seed.
Reference to Rad right there.
Yes. 83% of the vote. Right down the middle, the chalk goes. The number 1 seed moving on to the Senseless 16.
Okay.
They'll be taking on the winner of the 4-5 matchup. Does Big Tootsie run the parade gamut? Took on If Your Name is Jack and You Run an Acme, Are You Dead?
Oh, R.I.P. JVT.
Which I feel like every time I read that and you don't know the matchup, because you don't have this pulled up like I do right now.
Right.
I feel like that hits you.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's soft punch, but still a soft punch right to the belly.
Right to the gut. Yeah. Right to the gut. Kind of up into the ribs almost.
Well, the good news for you, you get at least one more week of that with 61% of the vote. If Your Name is Jack and You Run an Acme, Are You Dead? Advances to the Senseless 16, taking on the number 1 seed.
Apologies. Maybe, you know how earlier in the episode we talked about people who would possibly send a C&D?
Jack's family.
The family of the late Jack. Acme manager.
A good man.
Apologies.
A good man.
Yeah. Still feel terrible about my notable interaction with him.
Moving on to the bottom half of the What the division. I can't wait for next week when I get to see that same look on your face again. The number 3 seed are Yuck and Chuck in the Morning, always busy on Friday nights.
I got a lot going on.
Taking on the number 6 seed is Kyle, Just a Bag of Used Parts.
Gee, what happened?
With the widest margin of victory in the Throaty 2 round. Is Kyle just a bag of used parts?
All right, well done.
Steamrolls its way to the Senseless 16.
Well done out there, everybody. Well done. I'll
I
be
do
honest.
not want that on a plaque.
I'll be honest. I don't want to see it on a plaque either.
I don't either.
But I'm happy that it's advancing. So
do that for another week, huh?
Yeah. Well,
that's going to be taking on the winner of the 2 versus 7 matchup. Do you have to knock on the casket to ask permission to use the family name? Which took on the number 7 seed. Can you show your favorite radio show host the lump on your butt? See, this one went down to the wire. And by the wire, I want to give everybody a lecture about how your vote counts.
Uh-oh.
I had to go to the tiebreaker.
Oh, what's the... how do we do tiebreakers? Remind me?
It's my wife.
Wow.
I had to text it to her.
So the Katie quotient factored in.
And she went chalk. The number 2 seed, do you have to knock on the casket to ask permission to use the family name? Wins with 51% of the vote.
I'll be interested to hear how... now, when you texted her, did you just say, hey, A or B? Or did you actually give her the... Did she know what she was choosing?
I don't think she knew what she was choosing. I just said which one is better.
Okay.
Let me go back to the picture. Let's see. I did not want to give her too much detail. You're the tiebreaker. What's your vote? That's all I said.
Okay.
And she said, hey, almost no hesitation. So the Senseless 16. So we're moving over to the Asinine Division. Mm-hmm. The number 1 seed taking on the number 8. The only polls by Zunes.
That's a great... Wait, did you say that was an 8?
No, it's a 1.
Oh, well, 1.
The 1 versus 8
okay,
matchup. Sorry. Taking on the number 8 seed, if Steve sells one of his Jeeps, can he be labeled a Jeepsman in absentia? And it wasn't a runaway like we just saw with the Kyle being a bag of used parts. But solid victory, 65% of the vote. The number 1 seed to only polls by Zunes, moving on to take on the winner of the 4 versus 5 matchup. Should Steve make the union workers refer to him as Big Bacon Steve or Papa Benjamins?
Papa Benjamins.
Taking on, does the city still quake from Steve Singlin and Minglin?
Boy, I'm telling you, tonight we could both be out there. The city will be quaking. Steve and Kyle singling and mingling.
Or, you could watch 3 movies on your new 85-inch television.
Oh, boy, that does sound nice. I don't have to drive. Well, I'd have to drive it. Does the local big box store, they do
until Tuesday. Oh. Yeah, I checked for you.
Appreciate that.
With 69% of the vote, should Steve make the union workers refer to him as Big Bacon Steve or Papa Benjamins? Moving on to take on the previous number 1 seed that won there. Mm-hmm. Down to the bottom half, the number 3 versus number 6. Would John Lennon still be alive if there were CDs? Taking on, can a Philly catch your eye in the 2010s?
Well, she did. She absolutely did.
And would John Lennon still be alive if there were CDs?
Wow.
Moving on with 61% of the vote. Taking on the winner of the 2 versus 7. The number 2 seed is Captain Hatchet, the crazed fire captain with a hook for a hand and umbrella for a foot. A good horror icon. Taking on what I thought was a really weak number 7. Does oat milk in your coffee belong in a terrorist detention center? Maybe some weakness here in the number 2 seed, Steve, with 55% of the vote. Okay. Captain Hatchet moving on into the Senseless 16. But something to keep your eyes on there as it takes on John Lennon in the Senseless 16. That's right. Captain Hatchet versus John Lennon for the right to move on to the excessive 8.
It's the first time that's ever been said.
Moving over to the last division. Are They Serious? The number 1 seed, does Dick Head, the owner of Dick Head Appliances, flick his cigarette at a baby? Taking on, once you go ooga, do you ever go back?
Referring to the horn, obviously.
Obviously. With 79% of the vote, Dick Head moving on into the Senseless 16. Taking on the winner of the 4 versus 5 matchup is the key to any Sly Stallone, a battle in the mouth. That's exactly what I think. If I were to tell you a battle...
That was more Arnold, though.
That's right. Yeah. But I feel like, maybe Sly Stallone would be... What did it? Taking on the number 5 seed, do you always pick A, B, and blue off the brothel menu? With 82% of the vote, the second highest margin of victory... The brothel menu, moving on to the Senseless 16 to take us. So again, the Senseless 16 matchup of Dickhead versus the brothel menu that everyone's talking about. Yeah. Bottom half of this final division, Steve. The number 3 seed is Standard Tex-Mex time, 6 to 8 p.m. taking on the number 6 seed. Does the Lord take a break every July? 61% of the audience voted for Tex-Mex. The number 3 seed moving on to take on the winner. The final matchup here of the Throaty 2 of 2023 Poll Badness. The number 2 seed is third base in the Comedy Club, the new normal. Taking on the number 7 seed. Should Evelyn seek emancipation after getting a coaster as a gift from Steve?
That one hurts.
Well, lucky for you, we have multiple Cinderellas going on in the Senseless 16. 81% of the vote.
Yeah.
Should Evelyn seek emancipation after getting a coaster as a gift from Steve?
That's going to be a real kick in the balls if that one goes on to win, because last year's winner is Annette's Etsy shop. Just her
slamming airplane-sized
booze bottles to get away from Steve. What was the one before that? That wasn't offensive to me?
Nope. Okay. We're the apostles known for chiseling the word boobs into rocks. And that was last year was that. Does that say a number 3 seed? Steve, in the patently absurd division?
Yeah.
Last year?
Number 3, yeah.
So listen, there's some precedent there for these. So we have one number 7. We have a number 6, a number 5 moving on, a number 8, and another number 6. A lot of slippers still on Cinderella's feet going into the tournament. Obviously, the big one, though, is Chainsaw Steve, the ultimate nemesis of Earthman, which the upset of all upsets, taking on, again, the number 5 seed. Do you want to wake up on a Saturday morning blowing rust-colored boogers? If I had to rank the divisions, though, right now, in the Senseless 16, the patently absurd division appears to me to be the weakest in terms of heavy hitters.
Right.
We've got Steve's Murder Jeep in there as well, taking on what could win it all, though. A number 2 seed, underseeded. And again, our apologies. And I can't believe you, Decision Den.
Yeah.
Does the whoopee cushion lead off fart hour? Does it belong in dick hour? So nobody sees it coming. Which was, I can only assume, a discussion on your employment.
Right, yeah, of course.
And how to increase the ratings.
Look, it's a daily conversation.
I believe that was where we listed off how you guys do the show every day, which was
Hour 1, fart hour.
Yep. Hour 2 is dick hour.
Dick hour. Hour 3 is a repeat of fart hour.
That's right.
And hour 4 is a repeat
of
multiple dick hour.
Multiple. Thanks everybody for voting. Again, those are posted at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please vote. You can vote on all 3 platforms. Please just vote once so I can easily count the votes.
Yeah, if you're listening to this as it is being released, like right at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, the first poll will go up at 8 o'clock. So actually, if you listen to this in real time, the poll will be posted in about 2 minutes.
Yes, please start listening or get your voting ready. Share those. Want to see how your brackets look after a first round rife with upsets.
Yep. Again, at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of those are posted.
Stay tuned next week. Marvel movie review and possible 85-inch television reveal.
Maybe I'll just take 2 43s and shove them together.
You got to do 4 at that point.
Right.
And make a big square,
or just have a really wide screen, but it's split in the middle.
It's just like when you go to either a sports bar or something and they have 4 monitors making one picture.
Yeah. How do they do that?
Yeah. Okay. Can we figure that out?
Probably some monster cables.
Monster cables, that's what I was thinking.
All right, we'll talk to you next week. See ya.